All right, guys, welcome to Tejano time on this Sunday fun day, everybody. That's right. Just don't forget, every Sunday from 7 to 8 o'clock, we'll have an artist in here, okay, for a live show. It's right here on Tejano time. You can check it out on three different platforms on the social media, our Houston's Tejano Hits page, also as the Keith Leal personal page, and we also have Tejano time as well. So this, if you guys are out there tuned in, make sure you write that down from week to week. And we're also streaming it live on our YouTube channel as well. So it's at Tejano time. You can look at us there for future interviews and stuff like that we're bringing. But today, on this Sunday fun day, we would like to welcome, first of all, Keith Leal. I'm your host right here at the Huddle Time. I want to get that out of the way before everybody gets confused of what's going on. What are they doing? Who's this? You know what I mean? We would like to welcome the lovely and talented, for the very first time on the show, we're talking about Lorena Mejia. Okay, she's been on the radio show with me before, and now here on the podcast as well. Welcome aboard, as the Lorena. It's an honor to have you here on the show today.
It's an honor to be here too, Keith. I want to thank you so much for inviting me today. And I want to say saludos, bienvenidos a todos los radio escuchas que están oyendo in Houston, everybody that's listening in Texas, everybody listening in Mexico, por todos lados, mucho gusto. Y yo soy Lorena Mejia, and I just want to welcome everybody out to the Keith Leal Show. One of the things that Keith did mention that did bring to mind was that this time, the last time I was here, I was actually being interviewed on behalf of my dad and his legacy.
Correct. Yes.
And his name's Jose Mejia, the composer of the song Te Traes las Flores. And now it's my turn. I'm here as the person that's getting interviewed. About my record. So now it's in a different capacity, but nonetheless, I want to thank you, Keith Leal, and also the Tejano Time podcast for inviting me today, and also just want to thank everybody and on behalf of me. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Most
I'm glad
definitely.
to speak today.
Yes, and the door is always open here, Lorena, just
Thank
so you
you.
know, okay? So again, before we get started on everything on how you got to where you're at today, how's life treating you?
Life is treating me well. I've just been really happy with this new project that's out. This 10-song record that's called Con Cariño. Just want to let you know it's out. It consists of songs. It consists of mine and then also my dad's. This was actually a project that I had actually thought about archiving, but what happened was when my dad passed away in 2020, I decided to release it as a gift to his endearing fans and friends, and just as a gift of love to the people that were on behalf of him and also for his legacy. And this project I consider a beautiful collaboration amongst him and myself, because it contains songs that are consist of my songs and also his. And also I just think that it's a beautiful collaboration. And then also it has a sense of history to it. And then it also, to me, it was just an opportunity to re-embrace his legacy again. So
outstanding once again. And if you're just joining us, share the live as well. And if you're not familiar with Lorena Mejia, we want to get a little bit more background detail. You know what I mean? We're talking about she's the daughter of legendary composer Joe Mejia. Okay, I said, and he wrote some of the major hits in the industry today that people are still out there recording and singing today. We're talking about some songs from Ramon Ayala, Freddie Martinez, Angelica Maria, Lucha Villa. I mean, I can go on. Te Traigo Esas Flores, which is another major hit. I believe Freddie Martinez recorded that song as well. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And, she is the daughter of, once again, Mr. Joe Mejia. You just decided to just pick up where he left off and not where he left off, but start a career, you know what I mean? Because you didn't want to see his legacy just fade out, fade away.
Right. I see myself as an extension to him. And what I'm doing right now is just continuing on his legacy. I know that when he was a composer, as a musician, arranger, and a composer, one of his goals and major, I guess, what he wanted to do achievements is just to él decía, I want to llegarle a la corazón de la gente. He wanted to touch people's hearts.
People's hearts,
and
yes.
I think he did on a major level, because the Traes las Flores, I believe, it was known as the biggest, the song that actually broke the 100,000 sales barrier, that was also considered the first song, Tejano song, to pave the way for future Tejano songwriters in Mexico. And it's been covered by so many artists like Lucha Villa, like he said, Angelica, Lola Beltran, Juan Gabriel, and this song is a timeless classic to this day. There's so many artists that are still recording this song
Recording.
today. So it gives me great satisfaction to know that he continues to inspire so many generations and future generations too.
Mhm.
And I just thank everybody for just for continuing his legacy, and to me it gives me great satisfaction because when I hear his songs on the radio, it's as if he's still here,
Exactly.
and that
Yes.
gives me great joy.
There's a
Yes,
smile on your face every time that happens.
yes.
Like, I get,
Mhm.
yes, definitely. So, do you do any composing or songwriting or anything like that right now at the moment?
Yes. So actually, I do have a song that I wrote when I was 18 years old, and it actually appeared on my first record that I recorded when I was in Arizona. This is I actually have two songs that I mean two records that I've self-produced, and on the first record there was a song that I had wrote when I was 18 years old, and I decided that I was on this next project because there will be a new project that's going to be coming out around August. We're going to go into the studio and just wanted to share that I work with Gilbert Velasquez.
Okay.
He's a
Yes.
well-known record producer,
Yes. Yes.
and Gilbert and I have discussed the song that I recorded that came from off of my first record that I
Mhm.
recorded in the 1990s in Arizona, and we're going to record this song, and it's a beautiful song. It's got a beautiful melody, and I'm just anxious to put it out because actually my brother, who's a musician, he was talking about this album, the first one. He says, you know what, you had a lot of great songs, but when I was living in Arizona, I was also, my style was, we had Sonora Mexico, so a lot of the songs that were on that first record had a Sonora Mexican influence sound.
Hmm. Okay.
And one of the songs that was on there, my brother has said, you know what, I like all those songs, but the one that I liked the most was Me Quiebra Ese Corazón. And I said, you know what, that's the one I wrote. So he says, so he said, we definitely need to get that song out. So yeah, but I recorded my own record in Arizona in the 1990s, and it was a great experience. So I actually have. I've been happy to say that I've produced already two records on my own already. Yes. Hmm.
Wow, that is outstanding right there. Once again,
Hmm.
if you're just joining us, we are talking with Lorena Mejia, and your home base right now. Where you actually located? I mean, where
I
you
live
staying?
in
Where's San
San
Antonio?
Antonio, Texas, the capital of La Música Tejana.
Yeah. Yeah.
and so yes, everything's been great. I've been very happy to that the reception that I've received from the music industry and the radio stations like yourself. I'm very appreciative. I
Mhm.
know that my dad would want to thank you on his behalf. Everybody's been treating me really well, with open arms because I had gone away from the music industry for about 15, 20 years. I got married and kind of just got lost in my home life. I mean, the family life. But I
Right. Right.
also had other things that I like to do. I took up physical fitness. I liked I like Pure Bar. It's in CrossFit, and I got really caught up in physical fitness. And at one time, I wanted to be an instructor. And then what happened was about 2 years ago, I got a call from a friend of mine who's in charge of an organization that's been around in San Antonio for a long time. They're called Los Bejareños, and it's a
Okay.
very prestigious society. And she called me up and she said, "You know what? It's time that we honor your dad, for his accomplishments with the music industry." And I said, "Well, that's
Hmm.
great. Hey, I'm all for it."
No, for
And
it.
so, yeah, and my friend said, "Well, I want you to speak, but I also want you to perform. Can
Hmm.
you do that?" And I was like, "Yes." But then afterwards, when I hung up, I said, "I hadn't sang in 15 or 20 years. Oh my gosh. And
What?
so, but when they call, when somebody like an organization, you just say yes,
Yes. Exactly.
because they're so prestigious. But so I ended up just practicing in a hurry, but it all came back. And I put on, I guess according to my husband, he said it was an exceptional performance, but just based on the response from the audience, I mean, it
Hmm.
was incredible. And I got practically, like, I mean, it was a standing ovation after I performed. And
Outstanding.
so, I was singing to a crowd of 500 people, about
Hmm.
500 people, guests. And so, just based on the response, my husband said, "You know what? I think it's time for you to come back to make a return." And that's what prompted my return too.
So how do you feel being on stage and actually performing and singing? How does I mean,
Oh, I love it.
what
I
kind of
love
rush
being
do
on
you
stage.
get?
I love being on stage. It's just the people get me excited. the music, just everything. The social interaction. With the audience, and just
Hmm.
also getting to meet people, interact, and all that. It's just an amazing experience. And then just being able to share my music also, and
Hmm.
and see people, the enjoyment that they get. Because I grew up also, watching my dad, observing him perform.
Yes.
All my life. I've been surrounded by music as a child, and I
Hmm.
used to see him perform and attend a lot of his concerts. And then when I wasn't going to the concerts, I was also going on tours as a child with him, to Mexico. He used to go on caravanas with artists like Lorena, Las Hermanas Huerta,
Hmm.
and big acts like that. And I used
Big
to
acts,
accompany him as a
yes.
toddler, and there's photos of me. We have this incredible photo album, with photos of me as a child, at Hotel Monterrey in Mexico, and on tours and with artists and stuff. And so, I'm sorry. So it was a beautiful experience. I've
Yeah.
been around that environment all my life, so it's very comfortable to me. It's a
Yeah.
second nature because of my
Yep.
dad.
That was
Yeah.
definitely a question I was going to have right there. But like, again, you're not a stranger to the music
Hmm.
industry. You grew up around your father. Your father, again,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember the last time you were on the show, on the radio show, you had mentioned that you went on tour with him. You were here, you were there. So you've been around music
Hmm.
practically your entire life. And to continue doing this right now.
Hmm.
The songwriting. You said you had a song that you had wrote when you were 18 now. So I mean, you've been
Exactly.
around this whole entire thing for some time right now, and it's all about you right now because you actually have a couple of songs out, but you have a new single that's out as well.
Hmm.
And we want to talk about that new single right now that you have out, and you've been very busy promoting the song.
Yes.
You've been doing interviews left and right here and there, and you took the time to be with us here today on the show
Yeah.
today as well. I know you just had one with in San Antonio with Ke
With
Alamo over the weekend.
ALMO
Yes.
Radio. Yes. And I want to say thank you también for a la familia Lopez también
Hmm.
for to allow me to come into their home. KLMO
Hmm.
yesterday, and then also want to thank un brazo, Mr. Jose Rosario. He's been a
Yes.
big blessing to me, and
Great guy.
been very supportive with my career. And I just want to thank him from the bottom of my heart. It's just he's been amazing. He's amazing.
Yes.
Mr. Jose Rosario. So if he's listening out there, un abrazo para él también. And I really appreciate his help and all that. And also también a Plácido Salazar.
Hmm.
Plácido Salazar is also a radio pioneer,
Right.
who's been around in the industry for a long time, and he was also a great friend of my dad's too.
Yeah.
So it
Wow.
was a great chance to. It was a great, opportunity to reconnect,
Hmm.
on behalf of my dad with Placido, and my dad used to speak so highly of him. So I
See.
got to finally, experience that, and I said, yeah, it was an honor to meet him, and like I said, I want to thank Familia Lopez, Mr. Jose Rosario, and then Placido también, because I had a
Great.
great time.
Yes.
It was an amazing time.
Yeah,
Hmm.
always a great time with her. They're great people from La Familia Lopez all the way down to Jose también. I mean, they're all great guys. Plácido también. I mean, they've treated me right from day one. You know what I mean? My
Definitely.
career's kicked off with Lopez Broadcasting back in the day. So, I
And
give
let's not
thanks to
forget
them as
your
well.
father, Santos Diaz, también another radio pioneer and legend too.
Yes, yes.
Yes, one of our great pioneers, La Música. Yes.
Yep, yep, for sure, for sure. I'm not a big Santos Leal, so my dad, I'm not sure if he's watching or not. But let's check a few comments right quick before we get started here to see who all there is. There's Josie Zamora is watching with us here. She
Saludos.
says,
Mhm.
hello, y'all.
Hello.
See, Tenchi, let me see here. Let me hide that one there. Did I get her off there? No, I did not. Okay. It's being stubborn. It's being stubborn. Here we go. Right here. Tenchi Gallegos. También hello, Keith and Lorena. She's watching.
Hello.
Gracias. Thank you so much for
Gracias.
tuning in. Velvet Ramirez, I believe this is a hit song. So I guess it was as
Thank you.
we were
Thank you.
talking about some songs earlier that I believe your father recorded, or if not like that, but
Yes.
maybe some of the
Yes.
names that she mentioned were hit songs. Definitely a lot of great
Thank
hits in
you.
there.
Saludos. Mhm.
Let's see. She says once again, Josie's sharing the hello y'all. I was on HoustonTejano.com, and I was like, okay, where's the interview sharing? So she finally found it. So we're here.
There you go. Thank you. Welcome. Now she's on board.
Yeah, CrossFit is the best. She says CrossFit is the best.
Yes. CrossFit's the best. I love that ballet bar. Right. All right.
Oh, there he is, right there, the main man, right there.
Yeah.
Great guy, Mr. Jose.
Saludos. Saludos.
Saludos.
Beso, profe Jose.
Always a pleasure to
Gracias.
have him on the show, and I mean to
Thank you.
check that he's in there. I ran into him after so many years,
Amen.
so over the All Star Music
He's
Awards.
a phenomenal person. You know, like
Yes,
I tell, I can't, I can't, I don't have enough words to how to describe how wonderful he is, how
yeah.
awesome he is.
I was
We
about
were going on.
16.
I was like, yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
he's
he is
awesome.
awesome. I was about
He is.
16 years old the last time
Uh-huh.
that I ran a well when he would
It's
he
so.
was again I think believe he was with Sony Discos at the time, and he would bring a
See.
lot of artists from Fama, from
Mhm.
Stephanie at the
Yeah.
time, the radio tours, which the industry misses today. I mean, I think the industry definitely needs that. It needs it way back more than it did then. I mean, we have it, but it's not so consistent with a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. But we do definitely miss those radio tours, and he was one that would bring the artist around, a new artist or artist that they've had, when their new material was out and whatnot. And that was back in the 90s, and it's been a while since I've seen. We've always touched base and kept in touch on, throughout social media and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Finally got a chance to run into him at the music awards, and definitely a great guy right there. He says here,
Yes, papá.
yes, Santos Leal. He says here,
Uh-huh.
a true icon, definitely. Yes, my pops.
Thank you, Mr. Rosario, for joining us today. Thank you. So glad you made it. Thank you.
And he is correct on that right there. Definitely, we need more
Yes.
radio tours. Yes, we
Yes.
definitely do. Yeah, I've been calling that out for some
Uh-huh.
time now, and hopefully things will start to happen here with some of the promoters and things that are out there right now. I mean, it just again it depends on. I just don't think all these little promoters that we have in the industry today are
Mhm.
sort of just like more of a micro, manage their artists and stuff like that. So it's
Mhm.
just hearsay right here, and that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
they need to expand, just open that door just a little bit wider. You know what I mean? We'll see how
Yes.
that
I mean,
turns out.
I grew up around, I guess my, talking about radio promotion tour, I used to
Hmm.
attend a lot of the radio, when my dad used to distribute his music, back
Uh-huh.
in the 70s or the 80s. And it
Wow.
was always an
Okay.
amazing time because he would invite me to go with him. He'd say, I'm going to go to see the Davilas in Corpus, and
Yes, I
or not
remember
the
them.
Davilas in San Antonio, or I'm going to go see the Lopez's, like a Capirucha.
Uh,
And then if not, and he would always talk about, I get Santos,
mhm.
Placido, another Marcelo Tafoya. All those names were the household names of my household. And I used to attend these radio interviews, and it was just a great experience because you would, develop a lot of amazing relationships
Yeah.
with the radio station. The Lopez's and the Davilas. My dad established some really great relationships with them, and
Mhm.
I got to be a witness of that. And then it was just a great experience because Dad would he would deliver his music, and then he always had the opportunity to say, Joe, while you're here, can you do an interview? And so, sure, and I used to see Dad, hasta en la cabina, the cabina. That's what the term they would use. And so,
Yeah, yeah.
la cabina, and so, yeah, so I've been around and all that too because of my dad. I got
Right.
the opportunity to be around, that whole, the radio
The
stations
radio station and
all
the
that
radio
stuff.
station terminology that they used when they were there.
Exactly, right? Like,
Yeah.
yes.
You'd be surprised. We go out the streets and we start talking like that. They'll be like, "What the heck are you talking about?"
Yeah, what are you
You know?
talking about?
Oh yeah, that happens. But we want to get to talk a little bit about the new single that you have out right now, Lorena. Is the new single that you have is Máquina 501, right?
Exactly. Máquina 501 is a corrido, and it's a historical song in Mexico,
Hmm.
and it is based on a true story. And one of the reasons why I decided to record it is because it's based on an act of heroism, and it's just a beautiful story. And also, I also decided to record it because Chavela Isu Brown Express had recorded it, I believe, in the 80s.
Okay.
And it just my parents, my mom, she loved that song, and she would always play it at the house when it came out in Chavela, and it was just a mega hit when she recorded it. And then just she is, well, she passed, she's no longer with us, but she
Mhm.
played the accordion, and I think at the time there weren't too many female accordionists, but she
Right.
made a huge mark on the music industry, and especially with that song. And that song was actually, part of the soundtrack of my life, when I was
Mhm.
growing up.
Okay.
So in honor of her, I decided to record this song because it was one of my favorites, and in honor of just Shabana.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to record Máquina 501. But also, I also have Chente Barrera singing with me. He's harmonizing too. Un
Yes, I was
saludo
about
para
to
él
ask about
también.
that.
Saludo para Chente también. I heard from him a few days ago too, and yes. And so un saludo para Chente también. He said that he later on he's going to be joining me on some interviews too.
Okay, cool.
But
That
yes,
sounds
un
good.
saludo para él también. He did a great job also.
Yes, another icon in the industry today, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Chente Barrera is also featured in the song. So we want to play the song for everybody out there to get a chance to get a listen to it if you haven't already heard it yet, but you're going to hear it here right now on the Tejano Time. So, guys, if you have not heard the song, once again, check this one out, and we're going to be right back here in just a few with Lorena Mejia otra vez and myself, Mr. Keith Lead, right here on Tejano Time. So you guys stay close.
Máquina 501, la que corrió por Sonora, por eso los carteros, el que no suspira llora. Era un domingo, señores, como a las 3 de la tarde, estaba Jesús García acariciando a su madre. Dentro de pocos momentos, madre, tengo que partir. Del tren se escucha el silbato, se acerca mi porvenir. Cuando llegué a la estación, un tren ya estaba silbando, un carro de dinamita ya se le estaba quemando. El fogonero le dice: Jesús, vámonos sapeando, mira que el carro de atrás ya se nos viene quemando. Jesús García le contesta: yo pienso muy diferente, yo no quiero ser la causa de que muera tanta gente. Le dio vuelta su vapor, como iba de cuesta arriba, antes de llegar al 6, ahí terminó su vida. Desde ese día inolvidable, tú te has ganado las palmas, tú te has ganado la cruz, eres un héroe en Jesús.
There you have it right there. That
That's
is the
right.
brand new one right there. That's right. Let me get this off here right quick so that way they can check it out. Yes, that was it. That's the brand new single right there
Thank you.
featuring Chente Barrera. Okay. And
Yes.
that song right there is available, right, on all digital platforms for anyone out there to
Absolutely. I was going
stream.
to mention that it is available on all digital platforms. The record, the album title is called Con Cariño. Just wanted to mention that the album title came from actually a song of my dad's, a song that he
Really?
wrote. It's
Okay.
called Con Cariño, and it actually came off of the album that's called Una Canción para Ti. It's a song that you can still find today. I mean, a record you can still find today. It was under the Sonido Internacional label that he was recording with at the time, and the album is called Una Canción para Ti, and it was a record that he recorded that he received an award. The the Primer Festival de la Canción Hispana Award that
Okay.
also came with an opportunity to perform at the LA Sports Arena. That was one of his first, I mean, last major performances before he retired. He got to play there at the LA Sports Arena. But the album is called Una Canción para Ti, and one of the songs is called Un Con Cariño. And the reason why I chose that song is because it was one of the songs he used to like to sing a lot at the house,
Hmm.
and that was one of his favorite songs. It was called Con Cariño. But yes, that was with an international label at the time. It's called Sonido, and at the time, that label also had artists like Angelica Maria under it, and Ramon Ayala. Some major artists were also recording under that label at the time, and they also had a composer and arranger called Bebo Silvetti, who is very famous, who was also involved in that production, my dad's album
Hmm.
too,
Oh, really?
and he's
Okay.
a
Okay.
well-known composer. Yes, I believe he worked with Capitol Records under the project with Donde Quiera que Estés, the Barrio Boys. I believe he was also
Okay.
contributing also to that project too. And
Okay.
Mr. Rosario knows him very well, or knew him very well.
Yeah.
He just
Uh,
happened to be also on that working on that project. I mean, as an arranger to my dad's record back in the Sonido and Nacional record days. It's amazing.
Outstanding,
Yeah.
outstanding. Again, people, if you're watching out there, she's an artist who saw the music world growing up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We're talking about watching her father, alongside her dad from being at a young age. You know what I mean? Everybody that you're tuned in out there, imagine that, and then doing what you're doing now is just like it's
Yes.
just outstanding. I mean,
I grew up in a household, like I like to say, with a musical landscape that consisted of names like Isidro Lopez,
mhm.
Tony La Rosa, Oscar Martinez, Freddie
Wow.
Martinez, and these were all groups that my dad had been a part of too.
Hmm.
All these bands were that he was a member of Isidro Lopez. He was also a member of Tony La Rosa. He also played with Oscar Martinez, who wrote Tejano Enamorado,
Yes. Uh-huh.
and of course the Freddie Martinez Orchestra. So my dad had been a part of all those orchestras, and then Tony La Rosa, who just want to mention was actually he was my dad's best man when my parents got married. He was his best man at his wedding, and we've also got, and then also want to share too that Oscar Martinez also
Hmm.
baptized my brother.
Oh,
So
okay.
the yeah.
Wow.
So yes, I was around music all my life, and one of the fun things about it too is I got to play with their kids too. So I grew
Mhm.
up. I don't know if you know Iris Martinez Simmons, who's a DJ at Magic in Corpus.
Sounds familiar.
She's
Sounds very
Oscar's
familiar.
daughter. She's one of the DJs at the Corpus station,
Hmm.
and we used to play together when our parents were practicing. I used to go, or Oscar and Dad used to practice their bands, and Iris and I would be outside riding bikes.
Yeah.
And then and also Cedar Lopez's daughters too. When Cedar and my dad would practice, I'd be outside with Delma and Della and all that, playing with them too. So and so I have these. I grew up knowing the children, of other
Hmm.
musicians too, and we still keep in contact today, also.
Yes, I remember the
Yes.
days, Oscar, being at Magic, in my early years and at a young age, and he's a character. He was a character. He did a
Yes.
show
Yeah.
up there on the weekends, I believe, a long while back. I mean, it's been some years now since I've been
Hmm.
down there, but in the '90s, I would just say, and then he carried it on for a little while longer than that, but not very very many years after that. His show there, going back to you see the Lopez, I had an opportunity to meet him
Hmm.
way back when. Again, I was at a young age. I was just following my
Right.
dad's
Yeah.
footsteps. My
Yeah.
dad,
Hmm.
was just running around, knew everybody, and that's how I would meet people. And I couldn't go to a grocery store with my father without him, saying hi to about 15 or 20 people before we even left the store, or going in and leaving. It's like, what did we come for? We don't even remember what we went to the store for. You know what I mean?
Right.
By the time you get out of there, it's like, oh, we forgot
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Wow. It happens, but that's
Yeah.
the way it was, and we still talk about stuff like that till this day. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
These guys have known each other. It was a different era back then.
Yeah.
Everybody knew each other. Everybody helped one another.
Oh yeah.
Back
Hmm.
in the industry, back in the days. I
Very
wish it was that
family
way
oriented.
today.
Hmm.
Yes, very much
Very
so.
family oriented. Hmm.
Yeah. So, do you plan on doing a video for the current single right now, or do you just, or you're not work?
I would love
That's not
to.
something.
I would
Yeah.
love to. Yeah. So that's what's coming next. My brother, who is a drummer, I want to
Hmm.
say hi to him. Also, my brother Joey Mejia the third. He also contributed the drums to both of my CDs, and he is also telling me, he says, you know what, we need to get a video going. And so we're going to try to collaborate together on a video for this song, Machina, because he's got some ideas in mind, and he has a concept for the video for Machina. So we're planning on doing that too. And so yes, that's where we're gonna hopefully end. But I will keep y'all posted too. You can look at my Facebook page. It's called Lorena Mejia
Yes.
for any updates too, for any future performances or just updates. Just make sure to be on the lookout for that. My Facebook page is Lorena Mejia on Facebook.
Awesome, wonderful, wonderful. Says here, Jesse says, I as well seriously want to go to Corpus Christi and meet the legend, Mr. Santos Leal. And I heard your song earlier, and it's badass. My daddy loves that song, so she says.
Thank
there.
you,
So, yes.
thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you, thank you.
She says she loved it there. That's awesome, outstanding.
I
Well, we
appreciate
appreciate you watching, Josie. Thank you so much, Steph, for watching. If you guys have any questions for Lorena, feel free to drop them in the comments box, and we'll try to get to those before we sign off here. We're going to play another song here in just a bit, for you guys to hear. She's got another tune out. She's got quite a few. The album is out, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
you can go out there and stream it. All digital platforms. Go out there and search Lorena Mejia, and her music will pop up. And one of the favorite songs you might hear today, you might like, and you can go out there and grab it and add it to your playlist. It works. It's that simple. It's a lot easier now today than it was back in the days. With all this digital world. I guess it is. I'm just saying on my end, because sometimes we have we have a lot of issues on the outside, or other people can't get to it or whatnot. They call us and ask us, and we're like, not our department, but hey, we'll try to help you as much as we can. You know what I mean? So Basta Ya, is that the name of the other tune we got here?
It's called Basta Ya. This song, I would say it's got a norteño, Tejano feel to it. It was written by Marco Antonio Solis, who I've also had the pleasure of meeting. And also, it was the person that originally recorded was Olga Tañón. And she's one of my favorite singers.
Really?
I just like watching her perform. La Mujer de Fuego. So she had recorded Basta Ya, and I just said, you know what, it's about time that, somebody do it, from our género, música tejano, but, still with some norteño feel. And so that's why I decided to record Basta Ya. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. We're going to play that song right now for everybody that's watching out there. Share the video if you're watching as well. Lorena Mejia, we are talking with her right now, and we got another tune right now. We're going to play another track so you guys can get some more. We'll get familiar with her music if you haven't and you're enjoying it. Again, it's available on all streaming platforms. Go out there, add it to your playlist today. This one right here, Basta Ya. Check it out, and we'll be right back in just a few right here on Tejano Time.
Desde hoy le he prohibido a mis ojos en mirarte de nuevo la cara. Tienes algo que acaba conmigo, que a mi mente de mi alma separa. Tengo que renunciar a quererte antes que ya no tenga remedio. Si mi vida dejara tu suerte, mi camino será un cementerio. Y basta ya de tu conciencia de esta forma tan absurda, de ver a diario como echas a la basura mi corazón, lo que te doy, con tanta fe de ver en ti felicidad. Me llevaré la dignidad de no caer más en tu juego. Haré de todo mi interior nuevos senderos y oraré hasta lograr que algún día ya no te vuelva a recordar. Le he prohibido a mis ojos en mirarte de nuevo la cara. Tienes algo que acaba conmigo, que mi mente de mi alma separa. Tengo que renunciar a quererte antes que ya no tenga remedio. Si mi vida dejara tu suerte, mi camino será un cementerio. Y basta ya de tu conciencia de esta forma tan absurda, de ver a diario como echas a la basura mi corazón, lo que te doy, con tanta fe de ver en ti felicidad. Me llevaré la dignidad de no caer más en tu juego. Haré de todo mi interior nuevos senderos y oraré hasta lograr que algún día ya no te vuelva a recordar.
Basta, yeah, right there. There you have it. Lorena Mejia, right
Thank
here
you.
on Tejano Time podcast, everybody. That's right. We do appreciate everybody taking the time to join us here on this Sunday fun day for her to get here on the show and share her musical journey with us. You know what I mean? She's got a lot of experience. She's been around the business quite some time. Now, you had the opportunity at a young age when you were to record the timeless hit. We're talking about the Traigo Estas Flores with your father before his passing, correct?
Exactly. So luckily, I recorded it before he passed, and so I have decided to release it to the public. That's going to be coming pretty soon. I would say, hopefully by the end of the year, I will have the version that I and him and I had recorded,
Mhm.
the Terrazas Flores, and so just be on the lookout. And it came out beautiful, and I think the audience and the fans will really enjoy it too. And so yeah, it was a beautiful collaboration. But I'm happy. I'm fortunate that I did. Yeah, we did record it before he passed. Yeah.
Wonderful. Outstanding. That is good. Irene Mendoza says hello, and Keith and Lorena here. So big shout out to Irene Mendoza. Thank you
I
so
want to
much.
mention too, my first album that I recorded in Arizona.
Hmm.
It's gotten a really good response. Some of the songs that I have showcased, from my first album, have gotten a good response. So I plan on also releasing that by the end of the year. My very first record that I recorded, I'm gonna release it to the public, and hopefully by the end of the year. So, and
Wow.
it's called Lorena.
Okay.
Because I've gotten a really good response on that. So I said yes. So
Why not
so I'm
bring it?
gonna release it. Yes, I'll release it too.
Yeah,
That's
bring it,
coming
bring
soon.
it.
Yes. So,
Definitely, definitely. That's awesome right there. So there's more music to come. That was another question I
yes.
had for you. What is next for Lorena? So
Yeah.
you've already topped that off with releasing some more music by the end of the year. I mean, it doesn't get any better
Correct.
than that.
Mm-hmm.
Videos, it's something you're currently want to work on as well. So
Mm-hmm.
stay tuned for that. We want to send a big shout out right here. Bobby Castañeda también is watching us via YouTube. That's a great voice. Hello from California. I remember Joe Mejia. I actually have an 8-track tape of his music. Wow.
Well, thank you so much. It's an honor to hear that. Thank you. Thank you so much for being a fan and supporter of his music. He would be happy and want to thank you if you were here today. But thank you on behalf of him and Lorena. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Bobby, for always watching here as well, and tuning in and every Sunday here on Tejano Time podcast with yours truly, Mr. Keith Leal. And as we continue here on the show here, again, music is coming out towards the end of the year, so be on the lookout for that. She currently does want to do some music videos in the future as well. So he has a question right here, and I think he does. You might want to answer this because I know that I've heard of he did right.
Yes, he wrote Mirada que fascina. Yes, you're 100% correct. So that's one of the songs that he also, in addition to the Tragos de Flores, it's also a timeless classic. Mirada que fascina was also covered by Lola Beltran and Mercedes Castro. And also, the other song too that's gotten a resurgence of popularity is "Tú tienes que ir conmigo." Sometimes it goes under the name or title of "Aquí en mi corazón tú mandas las pasiones," But I know that that song to this day, or just it's again been recorded on a continuous basis. Just recently, I heard Lilo Bermudez, who's a famous artist in Mexico. He just recorded "Tu tienes que ir conmigo" and just released it recently. But there's so many versions of
Mhm.
"Tu tienes que ir conmigo." But I know aquí en Texas or in La Música Tejana, Excelencia covered it, and
Yes.
they did an exceptional job with "Tu tienes que ir conmigo," "Tu tienes que ir conmigo," and it was incredible. So that
Mhm.
song too has withstood the test of in time with
Mhm. The test of time,
it's
yes.
right, and it's become a classic too. "Tu tienes que ir conmigo," and
Mhm.
there's also so many other ones too that comprise this catalog that have also had longevity in the industry. Also like "El Amor que Te Doy" by Los Babies. And Los Babies is a famous group in Mexico, and also "Una Paloma Blanca," that song that Ramon Ayala performed. Dad wrote that song too. "Una Paloma Blanca," "Las Palomas de Angélica Maria," and
Mhm.
then also "Lindo Carinito." Lindo Carinito is also Dad's, and then "Dame Más Amor" de Rubén Vela.
Okay.
That Dad wrote that song too. "Dame Más
Wow.
Amor," La Ranchera.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I mean he's just he's got a lot of other ones too. That like I said, but he's got an incredible catalog, and he had a unique style of writing too. You know, he really expressed himself with a lot of metaphors and analogies, and you know, a distinct way of writing too that he had. Yes,
Oh, outstanding, outstanding. We got another comment here once again. Bobby has one more here. Says he was a great bass player as well. Very,
you are correct. He
I
knows his
mean,
history.
he knows his history. He's basically
Right.
he's on top of his game. So
So yeah,
big shout
so
out. Thank you.
and so and another thing that brought to mind, and Mr. Castaneda's correct. So apparently, Dad, his primary instrument is the bass, but he also is an excellent guitarist too. Because he used to play at home the guitar, and we used to sing songs together, and you know,
Mhm.
but his primary instrument was the bass, and he was actually just wanted to share something about him and Tony La Rosa. When Dad was starting out in the music industry, he started playing the bass. His first major group that he performed with was called Juan Garcia Los Nacionales.
Mhm.
And Dad had just started to play with them for about for about a year when all of a sudden he said he was playing at a gig, and Tony and Adan de la Rosa walked in, the famous Tony de la Rosa and Adan with his
Mhm.
brother, and my dad had no idea what was going on. But he said, "Oh my gosh, they're here! They're famous, you know." So Dad said, as soon as they went to break, he says Tony and Adon walked up to him and they said, "You know what? We've heard that you're an exceptional bass player. We want to recruit you for our band. That's what we've come to do." So
Wow.
Dad didn't know he was actually auditioning for them, and he
Oh
said,
wow.
"Yeah, we came to check you out, and we heard good things about you, you know, and so we want you to join our band." So yeah, so but Dad
Wow.
was always an honorable person, you know, because I remember he says, "Oh my gosh," he says I didn't know I was auditioning for them. So he says, "But I had to ask Juan Garcia, would you give me permission to join Tony La Rosa?" To accept this opportunity, and he said, "You receive my blessings," you know, and so he said, "Yeah, go for it." And so Dad played with Tony La Rosa for 5 years, and he said they toured all over. I know they toured a lot in California
Mhm.
and Mexico, and so Dad, he said, yeah, I mean they were so busy, and but um, also he became very good friends with Tony,
Mhm.
and Tony was the one that said, you know, if you marry your wife Stella, I will be the best man. I will take care of the wedding, and he became his best man for his wedding, you know.
Yeah.
So yes,
Great. Yeah, so great.
and
It's a great story. Yeah.
yes, and my
Outstanding.
parents just want to mention they were married over 50 some. I mean, when my dad passed, they had already been married over, I don't know, 50 something years.
Mhm.
So yes, so they had been married forever. I mean, you know, married over 50 something years. You know, when he passed.
When he passed.
Yeah.
Wow, wow,
hmm
definitely. Look her up, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow her on her social media page. Do you have the handles on those, Lorena, where they can follow you?
Yes, it's called Lorena Mejia. On my Facebook page. Yes.
Okay. Follow her on Facebook. Get to know her a little bit more if you guys are interested in her music as well. Her music is outstanding. It's great,
Yeah.
and you can find it on all digital platforms. Okay, so go out there and stream it. Add it to your playlist. Lorena Mejia is her name again. Once again, if you
Yeah.
like the music that we heard earlier throughout this
hmm
broadcast, definitely follow her and check out her music. She's got some more music to come, and who knows, a video could
Yeah.
be in the works very, very soon as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's always a pleasure to have you on to talk a little bit
Thank
about
you.
music and the legacy of your father as well, Lorena. Again, we thank you so much for taking the time out of your Sunday
Thank you.
to
No,
be
thank you. Thank you for making me feel at home, and thank you for welcoming me into your home too today. Thank you, Keith.
awesome. Anytime,
Yes.
the door is always open. So it's
Thank
keep in
you.
touch definitely, and we'll work out some more stuff out in the future as
Yes.
your music develops, videos come out and whatnot. That will definitely be here for you,
Yeah.
110%. And good luck again on the rest of this entire year on the accomplishments you already got and what you're
There's so
looking
many
forward
things,
to.
exciting things coming up. Yeah. So
Yes.
I want to just make sure to be on the lookout on my Facebook page, Lorena Mejia.
Yes,
Yes.
and you
Yes.
got to
Oh,
follow
yeah.
her to know. If you guys want to follow her,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
send her a friend request right there, and you'll keep up with everything that she's got going on from here on out. So
Sure.
yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Absolutely.
So again, we appreciate you, Lorena. Thank you so much, and we
Thank
will talk to you
you.
very, very soon.
And I want to
Go
say
ahead.
thank you, Keith, and then also saludos también for Mr. Gracias a Mr. Jose Rosario, who is here
Mhm,
listening today. Un beso para él. And thank you también, Keith, and también also for la Lopez family too,
mhm.
for that, for welcoming me into their home yesterday. And saludos para Plácido. And also just want to thank you everybody who's listening today throughout Texas and Mexico. Un beso y un abrazo de parte de mí. And just want to thank you everybody for todos los escuchas que están oyendo este día conmigo, comportando
Mm,
este día conmigo. Y un beso y abrazo para ti, Keith, también. Y
Gracias. Thank you
saludos for
so
your
much,
dad, too.
Lorena. I sure will. I definitely will let him
Yes,
know. I'm not sure if he's watching, but he'll watch it at a later time. He definitely does check
yes.
out the interview. So yes, definitely. And you take care. God bless, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. All right.
Take care.
Thank you.